Hi, I'm Don, and this is The Hobbyist Geek. Alright, today we are going to be continuing issue 7. This will be stage 20 in the build, and we have a massive part here, and this is pretty heavy, so I'm guessing this is probably solid metal. Can't wait to open it up and see what we got. So let's get to it. Alright, so here are the parts that you get with this issue. You've got the middle chassis. You've got two oil pipes here, these little cables here. One is longer than the other, so oil pipe A and oil pipe B. You've got two oil pipe splitters in a little baggie here and a whole bunch of screws. You will also need the engine chassis that we have built so far and the front metal chassis that we did in the last issue. And to begin, we're going to take the middle chassis received in this issue and the front middle chassis received in the last one, and we're going to put them together. And if you notice, this little nub right here that's popping up, it will fit right into this hole here. Make sure that it's all nice and lined up properly, just like so. And you attach it with 6 cm screws right down the line. All right, take a look at that. I think that's actually longer than the build we've got so far. Next up, we're going to be attaching the oil splitters. And you have, oops. You can see you have two types of splitters here. One with this little fork on the end, and the other without. I'm going to start with the one that's without the fork. And you take the chassis you've got so far and you flip it over just like this. So you're looking at the underside. And the one without the fork, you'll notice it's got this post here. And that post is going to go into this hole here. So we just slide that in. There it goes. And we screw it in with an EM screw. Alright, should look like that when you're done. Next up, we take the oil splitter with the fork in it, and the fork is going to lay just like this. It should lay flat in there. It's hard to see. Just like that, right in there. And that will also be attached with an EM screw. That should look pretty much like that whenever you're done. Now comes the fun part. Alright, for this stage, we're going to be taking the engine chassis we've built so far, and we're going to be attaching the middle chassis to it. And in order to do so, we just bring it on up and set it down gently on there. Now it looks like these little posts that are right here will actually fit into these little slots right here, so you can make sure that you've got it lined up nice and proper. There we go. And now you're going to need 4 screws. Right here, you'll be using LM screws, and for these two here, you'll be using IM screws. Alright, with this attached, we're going to want to flip it over and add some screws to the bottom. Now, that's going to be very difficult, of course, with the engine and the steering column here. So, what I'm going to do is bring in the box that the parts came in. And if you flip it over, you can set the front edge on one side, just like that. and the back will rest over here. And that should provide enough stability to do whatever work we need to do on the bottom without damaging the equipment on the other side. Okay, for this part we will need 4 EM screws, and they're going to go into these holes and these holes here on the bottom side here. My apologies, the top screws actually go here, so it's here and on the lower side here, not in these holes here. All right, now we get to fit the oil pipes. And we're gonna start with oil pipe A, which is the longer of the 2 oil pipes. And as I mentioned in previous issues, when it comes to fitting these things, using a toothpick to widen the gap at the end is very, very useful. So I usually just put it in there and let it rest for a few minutes to stretch it out, and then I apply it to the posts. And to start, for oil pipe A, that's going to be on this end of the splitter. Now on the underside, well, really on the top side, so I'll flip this over here, you can see maybe that there's a little bit of a post on the top side there, so you don't want to use either of the posts on the side. You're going to want to use the one that's on the top. And since we're going to be stringing this around along the bottom of the vehicle, I'm going to flip it over and do it from the bottom, like so. All right, now that we've got it attached on that end, we're going to want to take it and we're going to string it through here. And now we get even more fun, where we get to string it under here, and right down in there is the oil pipe cover that we put in earlier. So we're going to have to grab some tweezers here. We're going to want to string it right through that oil pipe cover if we can. There we go. Just like that. I'll pull it semi-tight, and then we will bring it around on the back side of the oil pan here, just like that. And right here, we've got those posts from when we were first building the chassis way back when. And this is going to go on the number 2 posts. So if you're counting from here, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 posts. This is going to go on the number 2 posts right there. The pipe is a little bit long, so you can see it weaving around in here. Not particularly happy with that, but short of simply slicing through the pipe, there's not much that can be done. The remaining pipe, the shorter pipe, that's going to go onto this pipe splitter. There's a post coming right out the back, and it's going to go through there. Okay, as before, we're going to string this thing right up through, just like the last one. Only this time, we're going to go through the oil pipe cover on the left side of the engine. Alright, and once you've got it up here, it's going to go on the final post on this little device here. And there we go. The oil pipes are complete, and that actually finishes off stage 20. And there you have it, everyone. Stage 20 is complete, and what a stage it was. I mean, take a look at this. We have more than doubled the length of this chassis since we started here. I'm a little concerned about storing it since the rear wheels are not on there, and we do have those oil pipe splitters on the bottom of the back here, and those oil pipe splitters are just plastic. So be very, very gentle when you're storing this in this stage, but things are certainly looking up. If you like the video, please remember to like, share, and subscribe, and we will see you next time. Have a great day.